Hello students, I am Dr. Vipin B. Gawande and welcome to the video lecture series for the solar and wind energy. In last lecture, that is on in video number 1, we have discussed about the types of the solar collector, what is meant by the solar collector, okay, and then we have discussed the types of the solar collector. So in video number 1, we have discussed about the non-concentrated type collector, where we have discussed the liquid flat plate collector and the flat plate air heating collector, that is solar air heater, okay. Now in today's video lecture we will discuss about the evacuated flat plate collector. Now the evacuated flat plate collector consists of the two layer of the glass. So this is the one layer and the another layer. We call this as the outer diameter and the inner diameter, and in between these two glass cover we have the vacuum. Okay, so vacuum is there, and the absorbative surface. Okay, so here this is mounted on this glass tube, in inner glass tube. Okay, that means when the solar radiation, so here this is given here, you can see here. So heat absorbative fin or heat absorbative surface is mounted here. The outer surface is this one, so this one, and this is the space between the tube, that is called as the evacuated tube. Okay, now the two tubes are there. Inside this we have the absorbative surface. Okay, now inside this we have the heat pipe. Okay, so this heat pipe is consist of the fluid. Okay, so that is a cold fluid because of by absorbing the solar radiations or the heat energy from the solar radiation. So this cold fluid, it is converted into the steam, and this steam rises up. Okay, and then it comes into the in the condenser bulb. Okay, now when it comes into the condenser bulb, whatever the fluid which is flowing through this manifold, so this is the cold fluid here which is flowing through this manifold. Now when this cold fluid is come in contact with this condenser tube, the heat energy from the latent heat from the that is steam, it is transferred to the cold fluid, and the cold fluid, it is converted into the hot fluid. Now because of that, the release of the heat from the steam is converted, that is the steam condenses. Okay, and then it is again returned back to the tube. Okay, bottom side of the tube. Okay, so likewise this evacuated flat plate tube collector consists of these evacuated tubes, and working principle is this one. Okay, so this type of the the tubes, this works on the evaporating and condensing cycle. Evaporating means what? Whatever the fluid is there inside the heat pipe, it get evaporated because of by absorbing the energy from the sunlight. And when it reaches to the top end of this heat pipe, where we call this as a condensing cycle, so it condenses, that means it releases its heat to the fluid which is flowing through the manifold. It may be water, oil, anything. So when that fluid, it absorbs the heat from this tube, the fluid get condensed, and then it again return back to its initial position. That's why it is said that it is based on the evaporating and the condensing cycle. Okay, so this is the explanation for the evacuated flat plate collector. Here also you can see the explanation for the evacuated flat plate collector. So whatever I have discussed earlier, so we have the heat pipe evaporator. So this is the evaporator side here, and this is the condenser. Okay, so evaporating and condensing. Then we have the absorber plate, so that is mounted on the inner side, and evacuated tube is what? It is the space between the vacuum is created inside the two tubes. Okay, so here this is the two tubes are shown here. Okay, and the same thing, so the whatever is the energy absorbed by the fluid which is there inside the heat pipe, so it get evaporated first. Okay, and then it rises up to the condenser section, where it releases its energy to the fluid which is flowing through the manifold. Okay, so here this is the cold fluid now, and after absorbing the heat from the heat pipe, so it is converted into the hot fluid. Okay, so this is the explanation for the evacuated flat plate collector. The next one is we have the modified flat plate collector. We have seen the flat plate collector, so that is the conventional flat plate collector. Now to increase the absorption efficiency of this flat plate collector, here two reflectors are mounted on the two edges of this flat plate collector. because of this, what will happen, the solar radiations are incident on this reflector, and then it again, and it is strike to the flat plate collector. So we have the direct radiation also, so that we call that as a beam radiation, while we have also the diffuse radiation because of this reflector. So efficiency of the flat plate collector is increases by using the reflectors. Okay, so that's why it is called as the modified flat plate collector. Okay, so here by providing the plane reflector at the edges, so here these are provided on the edges to reflect the additional radiation into the receiver. So this is our receiver here, this part is called as the receiver. Okay, and the concentration of the solar radiation can be increased. So our main aim is to increase the concentration of solar radiation, and that is achieved by means of these reflectors. Okay, then we have the compound parabolic concentrator. Okay, so when we have the parabola, we have the focus. Now this is the first parabola, this is parabola A, and this is the parabola B. So this is the focus for the parabola A, and this one is the focus for the parabola B. So these are mounted at the edges of this absorber plate. Okay, so this is the flat absorber. Okay, so this is the focus of parabola A, this one, and this is the focus of parabola B. So this one. Okay, so we have here these two focus. Okay, now what will happen here, so it is formed from two distinct parabolic segments, the foci of which are located at the opposing receiver surface end points. Okay, these are there. Now what will happen here, the compound parabolic concentrator can accept incoming radiation over relatively wide range of the angles. By using multiple internal reflection, any radiation entering entering the aperture within the collector acceptance angle find its way to the absorber surface. So it also works the same as that of the modified flat plate collector. Whatever the radiations which are incident on this parabolic surface, okay, so they get reflected, and the radiations are incident on the absorber plate. Okay, so that's why this is the working of your compound parabolic concentrator, and here it is given by using the collector acceptance angle. So particular collector acceptance angles that means the for parabola it is suggested so that maximum radiations are incident on the flat receiver, or that is called the absorber. Okay, so this is our compound parabolic concentrator. Here we are using the parabolic collector. Okay, so on the that is mounted on the edges. Okay, here, okay, such that the construction details are such that when for the parabola A, the focus point is on the end of the absorber, and for the another parabola B, the focus point is on the another end of the receiver. Okay, so that type of construction is to be maintained. Then we have the next is the cylindrical parabolic concentrator. So we have now entered into the focus type the solar collectors, where now we are discussing about the cylindrical parabolic concentrator. Okay, so now here this is the line focus and one axis tracking. So okay, so this is now the line focus. So line focus means here this is the absorber, this is in the form of the line, and it is a one axis it is a one axis tracking. Okay, so that means it rotates in only one direction. Okay, so here it consists of cylindrical parabolic trough collector. So we have the cylindrical parabolic trough collector, so this one. Okay, and we have the metal tube receiver at the focal line. Okay, so this is there. Now the working is I have already told you, it is rotate about one axis to track the sun. That's why it is called as the one axis tracking. Okay, now whatever the sun rays are incident on this the cylindrical parabolic concentrator, they are reflected on this focal line. Okay, where the fluid is flowing. Okay, so working fluid is flowing, and which receives the heat energy from the solar radiations, and the fluid get heated. Okay, so this is the working of the cylindrical parabolic concentrator. The main thing you have to remember here, this is this is the line focus. Okay, so this is the observer is in the form of the line. Okay, and this is the one axis tracking. Okay, so this is one tracking is only possible in this case. Here in this case, the concentration ratio is in the ratio 5 to 30. Okay, maybe achieved from this collector. Okay, so this type of the things are there. Okay, Now the another one is the fixed mirror solar concentrator. Now here uh, we have the practical difficulty in manufacturing the large mirrors in the single piece in a cylindrical parabolic shape. Okay, that's why the mirrors are mounted. The small mirrors are mounted at different positions or along the periphery of the cylinder, and the absorber plates are mounted in such that the solar radiation which are mount which are reflected from these mirrors, they are absorbed or they are incident on this absorber pipe. Okay, here also there is one axis tracking, and we can move this absorber pipe as the to track the sun, or to track the reflection of the sun. So this is the fixed mirror solar concentrator. Okay, now linear Fresnel lens collector. Now after this, now this is also this is the the line focus type of collector and one axis collector. Okay, so fixed mirror solar collector, then cylindrical parabolic concentrator. Okay, and the linear Fresnel lens collector, these are the line focus collector and one axis tracker. Okay, so we have to remember here, this is line focus and one axis tracker. Okay, now here linear Fresnel lens means these are the lens which are generally made up of the plastic. Okay, and these are made in such a way that the one side is the flat, and the another side is the another side linear grooves are made on the surface. So this is the flat surface, and on the other side the linear grooves are the made now in such a way that whenever the solar radiations are incident on the surface, so what will happen when the solar radiations are incident on these things, so they are tracked, or they are concentrated on the single on the single point, that is concentrated on the absorber surface. Okay, so this is a receiver, this is in the form of the line. That's why we call this as a linear Fresnel lens collector. Okay, so whatever the solar radiations are incident on this Fresnel lens, so they are concentrated on the absorber. Okay, so like this, so we have this concentrator. Okay, now the beam radiation which is incident normally converges on the focal line. Okay, this is converges on the focal line where the receiver tube is provided to absorb the radiation. Okay, so this is there. Okay, so this you have to follow here. So this is also line focus and one axis tracking. So three types of the collectors are line focus and one axis tracking. So these are linear Fresnel lens collector, the fixed mirror solar collector, and cylindrical parabolic concentrator. Okay, now in the next things we will go for now the point focus. This is point focus now, and here two axis tracking now, two axis tracking. Okay, now the next three types of the collectors are point focus and the two axis tracker. Now first one is the paraboloidal dish collector, where these collectors, these are in the form of the parabola, similar to our dish, the dish used for the cable, the receiving the cables. Okay, so this is the review, this is the reflector, and this is our receiver. So here all the radiations which are falling on this paraboloidal dish collector, they are concentrated at a point. Okay, so here, so this is the point focus here. Okay, and now here in this case we have seen this is the two type of the two axis tracking, that two axis tracking, so we can move this in the this direction also and this direction also. Okay, so in both the type both in both the directions this type of the trackings are possible. In this case we can achieve, in paraboloidal dish collector we can achieve the concentration ratio in the range of the 1000 to 5000 K, and the temperature, operating temperature is over 1800 K. Okay, so that type of the collector is there, and this type of collectors are used when the high temperature is required. Okay, so this is the explanation for the paraboloidal dish collector. The paraboloidal dish collector is a point focus and two axis, it is having two axis tracking. Okay, the next type of the collector is again the hemispherical bowl mirror collector. So here hemispherical shape is there, and the mirrors are mounted on this collector. This is also the point focus. So, okay, so all the solar radiation which are reflected by this hemispherical bowl mirror collector, they are incident on the point. Okay, So this is mounted, this is concentrated on the point where the working fluid is there, and which is heated by absorbing the heat energy from this solar radiation. And also here there is a two axis tracking. Okay, so for this collector also we have the two axis tracking. So this is the hemispherical bowl mirror collector. Okay, then we have the circular Fresnel lens collector. So we have seen linear Fresnel lens collector. Here this is line type and one axis tracking. That is linear Fresnel lens collector. While in case of the circular Fresnel lens collector, we have the point focus. We have here the point focus. Okay, and these lenses are generally used where the high flux is desired, such as when with the silicon solar cells or with gallium arsenide solar cell as the receiver. Okay, so circular Fresnel lens, it is a point focus and two axis, it is having two axis tracking, while the while the linear Fresnel lens collector is a line focus and a one axis tracking. Okay, so that you have to remember the difference between the circular Fresnel lens and the linear Fresnel lens collector. Okay, so these are the different types of the collector. The last one is the central tower receiver, where the receiver, it is mounted on the top of the tower, and the set of the mirrors are the mirrors are mounted on in the periphery of the circles. Okay, so when the solar radiations, and it is having again the two axis tracking. Okay, the all the mirrors which are, we call this as a heliostats. Okay, whatever the mirrors which are mounted in the periphery of the circle, so these are called as the heliostats. So these are called as heliostats, and the solar radiations reflected from these mirrors are concentrated at the top of the tower. So that's why this is called as the central tower receiver. Okay, and all these heliostats, okay, that means the mirror which are mounted on the supporting that is support. So these are having the two axis tracking. Okay, so here this is the, and these are generally used in the solar power plants. Okay, to generate the electricity. Here we can achieve we can concentrate the sunlight about 600 to 1000 times, and they achieve the temperature in the range of 800 degrees Celsius to 1000 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is the central tower receiver. The last point from this unit is the solar distillation. So we know that where the solar distillation, or it is also called as the solar still, it is used where we have to get that means the pure water from the saline or the brackish water. Now the working principle, it is simple. It consists of the glass covers where and at the bottom of this we have the entry for the saline water. Now when the solar radiations are the incident through the glass cover, so it evaporates the saline water, and because of the evaporation, the water droplets are formed, which are collected on this glass plate, and when this get condensed, so this condensed water, it is collected in the condensate channel. Okay, and this is used as a pure water, okay, for drinking. Okay, so here it is, what is happening, the solar radiation after passing through the roof, it is absorbed by the blackened surface of the basin, and does increase the temperature of the water. The evaporated water increases the moisture content, which get condensed on the cooler underneath the glass. So here this is the condensation is occurring. Okay, here, okay, the condensed water then slips down the slope. So then it slips down the slope, and then it is collected to the condensate channel. So it is collected here in the condensate channel attached to the glass. Okay, so this is the simple construction used for the solar distillation. Okay, so this is all from the unit number 2. Okay, so please go through the video number 1 and 2 for all the types of the collector. So thank you very much.